Come on in, come on up, come on over for the merriest time of year. Come on up, come on in, get together for a good time. Smile, my dear. Come on in, come on up, come on over. We'll be dancing round the tree. So let us have a swinging Christmas, just like 1, 2, 3. Time is short, we blink and then it's gone. So we better make the most of what we've got. So take your neighbor by the hand and join the dance parade before the clock strikes and it's all too late.
Hello everyone, how are you guys doing today? This is Jav from Cut and Make Crafts, and I'm so excited to be here with you guys today. I hope you guys had the chance to watch my presentation. So it was on creating 3D SVG file with Cricut Joy in Affinity Designer. So I'll just be going over a couple of things about Affinity Designer in today's live, and I'm here to answer your questions. Any questions if you have about the project, about designing the SVG cut file in Affinity Designer, or anything you want to know about working in Affinity Designer when it comes to SVGs or selling SVGs. I love talking about the business side of the stuff. So this is a perfect time to get all your questions answered. So as you guys are popping in, just share your questions in the comment section below so I can answer them live and we can have like a conversation here. It's much easier when you have that face-to-face interaction. It's easier to explain things, it's easier to understand. And I can also pop into Affinity Designer and probably show you guys some things as well. So let me know your questions. You can pop them in the comment section. Will you be making the SVG available in your Cricut community profile? Yeah, I can definitely do that for you guys. I didn't think about it, but yeah, shouldn't be a problem. I do have the SVG loaded in Design Space. I can go in and make it public. So thanks for the idea. And I was also gonna upload the finished project so that you guys can see what the project looks like physically, because you're learning to create a digital project, which you can then cut in Design Space. So I wanted to go ahead and cut it out and show you guys how cute it looks, how cute the 3D SVG looks when it's cut out and it's assembled, because it's a very simple and straightforward cutting project. I'm not sure if you guys have seen it, but I designed the project keeping in mind the limitations that comes with Cricut Joy. Like you're getting a very small area and you need to cut it out in that area. So keep that in mind. Things that are too intricate, because the machine can only go to a certain point. Like there's a limit to which you can push the blade to glaze over, to cut out really tiny stuff, and you got to keep that in mind. And most of the time when we are working with 3D layered projects, it's most of the time we have multiple layers. Some are very intricate to create that depth in the design, to create that beautiful look. But with Cricut Joy, you don't have that much of space, so you gotta think really out of the box and think about how you can actually keep the things big enough and not intricate, big enough for the Cricut Joy to cut and also look beautiful. I know there was a project, there was like a layered shadow box project with an owl. I forgot who was the presenter, but that was a really amazing project. You don't have too many intricate lines, but it also looks really cool when it's cut out. So we got to keep that thing in mind when we are making SVGs for Cricut Joy. So that's why I kept the lines very simple and clean to make it easy for the machine to cut it out. We don't have a lot of intricate details, but it also looks good. It has like a circular thing. If you guys have seen that thing, I'll also post the finished project in the group so you guys can have a look. And I really want you guys to attempt it. I do not have the project right now. I was going to cut it, but something came in the way. But I will definitely cut it out and post it after this live session is over, so you guys can see it, what it looks like after it's cut out. So that was about the project. So when you are cutting it in okay, I'm not sure what just happened. So I don't know what happened with my camera just now. Just give me a moment. Let me just reconnect it.
Hey everybody, sorry, I'm like behind the scenes right now. So she has lost connection. I didn't want you to have zero and nothing there. So yeah, sorry, this is me without makeup and anything on and my whole studio setup and my Diet Cokes that I'm running throughout the day. As soon as we get Jav back on, we will make sure she is back on. So I just didn't want to have a gap, and I think she'll be here shortly. Hello everybody, hello everybody. I am in my hair is dried post being in the pool earlier today. No makeup, no muss, no fuss, no lights on me or anything. So this is me. Hi. I hope everybody's having thank you. Hope everybody's having an amazing time and enjoying the show. And if you have any questions, please make sure you pop them into the screen. I'm just trying to see. I can see something happening on her screen, but no, she's still. There's nothing there. Pool. Yes, I have a pool. I am so blessed that, I mean, I live in Texas, so like what house in Texas does not have a pool? And so, yes, you get to jump in and you get to, especially when we're like 104 degrees outside, you have to have a way to cool off, right? That's the way it is. But if you have any questions, please feel free to ask. Happy to answer them. And as a point, the owl project that she was referring to, that was one that came from Janet Von, I always forget to pronounce her last name, Janet Von Treichman. So she is the one that created that amazing owl project. It was that layered 3D owl. It was very cool. Oh, now we've lost Jav completely. So I'll just fill time. I'm going to give her a few minutes. I don't want to completely ruin it. So if you've got questions, I'm producing on the back end. If you've ever curious about what my what crafty thing did I work on today? I learned about deadline funnels, nothing crafty. I did the business end of a whole bunch of things today. So I did deadline funnels and setting up affiliate stuff. And I didn't do anything. Oh, I got a whole bunch of stuff in for my retreat. I got a bunch of vinyl in today, and Jav is back. So I'm going to pop it over to her. And welcome. So I'm going to pop it out and get back on screen. That's all
my
you get.
camera just stopped working. I don't know what happened. All of a sudden, it just stopped working. Sorry about that, guys. This has never happened before. So here we are back again. So what we were talking about, totally forgot. So yeah, when it comes to Cricut Joy, you got to keep those things in mind, like the size cutting area and all those things. So it has a very clean line, the projects. A great question, Loretta. No, I started with Adobe Illustrator and then I went to Affinity Designer. So I started designing back in 2013, 2014. And that was when I was designing sewing patterns. I was designing digital sewing patterns for my other previously I used to share sewing tutorials and sew some stuff, so that's how I got started. And I used to use Adobe Illustrator, but then they started their subscription program, which was really expensive for me because back then I was a student. I was doing my honors in biotechnology and I was doing the business on the side. So I looked and looked high and low, and I tried a couple of different software. And the best I found was Affinity Designer because it was very professional and not glitchy and annoying like the other software. And it was very easy to transition from Adobe Illustrator to Affinity Designer because most of their features are pretty much the same. And Affinity just costs a one-time purchase of $50. So I started using Affinity back in 2013, 2014, and since then I've been using it for literally every single thing. Um, and then I got my Cricut in 2018, so I started designing sewing patterns to cut on Cricut, and eventually I transitioned completely into designing SVG cut files um, as I got sucked into the world of Cricut. So yeah, that's how I started with Affinity Designer. And since then, I've just been in love with the software because one, it looks professional, and it just costs like $50 to $60. I think now they've increased the price to around $60. I forgot. So anyway, the first time I purchased was to around 10 years ago, and then 8 or 9 years ago. And then the second time I purchased was last year in November because they released an upgraded version, the version 2. So that's the only time I've made any sort of payment to them. So which is pretty good. Like you just buy it once and you use it forever. There's no subscription and it's super affordable as well. And if you guys want to give it a try, you can get the free version. They have a 30-day free trial that you can use. You can have a look. If you want to create the project that I shared with you guys in the summit, you can go and get the 30-day free trial version and you can try it out. And if you like it, you can actually go and buy it for $60. And I think right now they do have a sale going on, 25% off. So definitely have a look if it's something you want to use. Because I find this is my personal experience. I find Design Space and Inkscape to be very glitchy, very annoying. I've tried designing in them, but oh God, it was so frustrating. It was so time consuming as well. Because when it comes to tech, you are already uh, jumping through so many hoops, right? Because you're trying to figure out the tech, and in middle of all of those things, if your software is not cooperating, it just gets 10 times more frustrating. And to avoid all that pain and heartache and everything, I just stick to Affinity Designer. I did dabble into Inkscape for a while. I had some tutorials for Inkscape, but I completely dropped it because I just can't stand the software. I know there are other people who swear by it. You can find a million tutorials, but it just doesn't work for me. So it's totally a personal thing. You can try what software work for you and see how you go about it and pick the one that's best for you, that works for you. Cool, cool. Yeah, I love that. It's just so fun, like the things you can come up with once you get your creative juices flowing. So yeah, that's a great idea as well. You can cut it out on vinyl and create a stencil out of it and use it on the wall or wherever you'd like. I love that. So if you guys have any other questions, what crafty thing did you work on today? That's a good question. Absolutely nothing, because Actually, it's 10 a.m. So I almost just woke up here in Australia. It's early morning, not so early though. So, and I'm more into like I like the business side of things more than the crafty things. So I won't say I'm a like a crafter, a hardcore crafter. So on my list, on the top is the business stuff, and then the second comes the SVG designing, which is all digital stuff. That's what I like to do. And on the third, we have the crafting stuff. So last, if I have to do some crafts, I'll do it. So basically, I really enjoy the first two things, and if I have time, I'll do the crafting things. And you'll see me crafting in my upcoming event in September. We are gonna do a gifts and business with Cricut event. It's a 3-day event, and I'll be doing like around 11 craft projects. So that will be the max for this year for me, because I do like crafting, but I need to have a lot of time for that. Mainly, I just go with the business stuff and graphic designing. So yeah, you'll be seeing me crafting. I have some cool crafts to share with you guys. For example, I'll be showing you how to make a couple of gift boxes, some ornaments, some wooden ornaments, some personalized wooden projects as well. And we'll have some shadow boxes, some lots of cool stuff coming your way. So stay tuned for that if you guys are interested. You can follow me on Instagram. So you can find me as Cut and Make Crafts, CUTN Make Crafts. So you can go and follow me over there. I I'll be sharing all the updates about the event on Instagram. And I will also be showing you guys, I also do like a bi-weekly uh, live sessions. I used to do it, haven't been live for a couple of days, but I'll be starting soon where we'll have like business discussion about SVGs. What's the name of the Cricut event? The event name is Gifts and Business with Cricut. Although the name says Cricut, but all other cutting machine crafters are welcome, because you can use the SVG files with other machines as well. If you're using a Silhouette, or if you're using a Brother Scan and Cut, you will definitely get something uh, out of the event. I won't be able to show you how to use the file in your software, but if you know how to use the SVGs with your machine, you're definitely going to have a lot of fun, because some of the projects are so unique, and I just get so giddy thinking about them. My graphic designer is creating the SVGs right now, and once I have the SVGs, I'll start working on the tutorials, and it is going to be so much fun. I really want you guys to have a look. So do give me a follow on Instagram, because I'll be posting a lot of behind the scenes. We have is something like that available. So some lessons, I don't put out a lot of lessons, free lessons on my YouTube channel. It's mostly like business stuff, but we do have one lesson coming up. We do have one lesson in this summit, and I'm not sure if you joined the previous events, we had some over there as well. And I do offer a membership, that's a monthly membership for my SVG Design Fun, where you'll have access to videos and step-by-step tutorials on how to use Affinity Designer. And I also have a course on creating SVGs in Affinity Designer. We have plenty of students inside the course, and it's just $147, a one-time purchase. So you get around 20 to 30 videos, and then you get
bonus lesson videos for creating different types of SVGs. You'll learn to create flower SVGs, cake topper SVGs, 3D SVGs, uh, quite a lot of different designs to work on, to explore and up your skills when it comes to SVG designing. So if you're interested in the course, you can sign up for the free master class, and at the end of the class, you will get the details on how to sign up for the course. And inside the master class, I also show you how to create an SVG, how to turn a simple quote into a super cute SVG that you can cut out on your Cricut. So you get a free project, plus you get the details on how to sign up for the course. So if you're interested to have a look at that. Yes, I am on YouTube as well. It's the same name. It's Cut and Make Crafts. But most of the time, uh, September 1st to 3rd. September starts from September 1st and then it ends on the 3rd. So it's a 3-day event, and we'll be having like kickoff calls and stuff like that, starting from August 31st. Yes, that includes all the updates. So, yeah, so about Affinity Designer. If you guys have any questions about Affinity Designer, you can pop them here. I think I saw one of the questions by Ruth. She said that she was having trouble loading her file in on the iPad, and just wanted to you know, highlight what could be the issue. So sometimes the software crashes because there isn't enough memory on your iPad or your computer, and the software cannot handle uh, the load of the SVGs. So definitely check how much storage you have on your iPad. Secondly, you might want to make sure that your iPad is up to date, and also your design space software is up to date. So these could be the problems why your software is crashing when you upload the SVG, because sometimes the size of the SVG is pretty big and the software crashes because of that. So any other questions that you guys have about Affinity Designer, I'm here to answer it. Happy to answer it. Is there a yes, I like to do a lot of 3D SVGs. I love everything about 3D SVGs, 3D layered SVGs. When I first launched my SVG store, there were just crickets because they were just plain SVGs. And then I went back in, I dug deep into what was going on in the Cricut crafting world, and I just got hooked on to the 3D layered SVGs from there. Um, Earlier, I designed like a really complex projects, a card, a fall card, which was a huge project. I had to use multiple software like Blender to do the 3D rendering and whatnot. And from that, I merged it with Affinity Designer. Oh my God, that was a huge learning curve. So it was like a proper 3D card where you can actually put stuff on. I learned a lot from that project. So, and then I designed like lanterns, but I realized that it was taking me very long, probably 3 to 4 days to actually more than that, to create the design, to cut it out and see how to improve it, blah blah blah. But then when I jumped into the 3D layered projects that you can put inside the shadow box, things became 10 times easier. It was much easier to create those projects compared to the actual 3D designs. So since then, I've just been I'm just doing a lot of 3D layered projects. So yeah, that's my specialty. I think the longest project that I've made was the fall cart. It had so many different pieces to it. Like the wheels were so difficult to do, and then I had to make the cart where you put stuff on it, like make it like a proper base. And oh my god, that was a huge thing to do. I'm not sure how much time I spent on that, but yeah, that was a huge learning curve, and it was so much fun. You can also find that project on my website. It's for free, and give it a try. It really challenges you in multiple ways. So definitely have a look. It's fall is coming around, so definitely this is a perfect time to give that project a try. It's a fall cart with pumpkins on it, and you can also cut out like a personalized gift and sorry, personalized name tag to put on the cart to use with your to give to someone or something, or you can use it as a centerpiece or something like that. But it's a really challenging project. Definitely give it a try. The wheels also move when you push the cart, so it's really cute and fun. That was my biggest project. Where do you find inspiration for your projects? So a lot of times it's Pinterest and just spending time in nature. Like just I feel like I think my thinking capability just boosts when I'm outside. Probably sometimes sitting in my balcony or maybe on the walk. So or maybe just before going to sleep, I'll come up with all those ideas. Okay, how can I give this, if this is a popular topic trending right now, what can I do to give it a twist and make it unique in my own way? So, for example, a lot of people are making the candy dome stuff. So for Mother's Day, I created 3D layered projects with mama and baby. So they were like a baby and mama together, and there was a candy dome inside that. I don't have. I think I have something to show you guys. Yep, I got something here. So this is what I created. So I had to brainstorm and really think about what is popular right now and how I can incorporate that into Mother's Day. So these are some of the files that we created for Mother's Day. And here's your candy dough. And there's a mama and the baby here. So really cute project for Mother's Day. So there were like a penguin, a koala, and I think there was a bear as well. So it just when you're in the industry, when you're looking at the projects, then you can think about how can I give it a unique spin. You don't have to really think way out of the box. If you just make some simple tweaks, you can come up with some cool ideas. For example, in this one, the only thing I did was added a baby on top uh, with the mama koala bear. So nothing too out of the box, but it makes sense for Mother's Day. So yeah, that's how I come up with ideas. So we just have around 3 minutes. I love to use the cardstock that comes with multiple papers in it. I know like you guys have a ton of them at Michael's and Joann's in Australia. You can find them at Spotlight. They are not too thick, but they're also I just wanted to grab it and show you guys. So these are the cardstock sheets. Come in various different colors, and it's really easy to work with them. So these are like medium weight cardstock. So I use these for most of my projects. And if I have if I need to work on a project that's thicker, that needs thicker cardstock, sometimes I will just stick 2 layers together to give it more support if I cannot find the really thick cardstock, because the really thick ones, they usually don't come in multiple colors. This is a medium weight. It's 176 grams. Yeah, that's the only information they have given here. It's 176 grams. And it's the letter size one. So the medium weight cardstock that you get at Michael's, it's a similar packaging. I've seen it in some of the stores. It's a similar packaging, so that works best for most of the 3D layered projects. And if I need to work with a thicker cardstock, which mostly just comes in white color, then I would usually cover it up with colored cardstock. It will give it additional support. Plus, it also looks good. So this is what I usually use for my projects. So we just have a couple of minutes. Okay, cool. Yeah, I think that's the most popular weight cardstock that is used. Usually for most of my projects, like even the one with that I showed you guys in this event, the Cricut Joy project, you can cut it out on this and it will cut very smoothly, very beautifully. So I think that's pretty much it. If you guys have some final questions, you can pop them here and I will answer them for you guys before I sign out because the time is up. And don't forget to follow me on Instagram and stay tuned for my Cricut event coming up in September. You're going to learn how to make personalized gifts, and you will also learn how to sell your crafts this holiday season. So if you're doing craft shows or even if you're selling online, you're going to learn a lot of stuff about all those things in the event. I have 2 craft show experts and a ton of other business experts coming into the event. Someone is doing Pinterest, social media management, time management, goal setting, so many amazing stuff that you're going to find super helpful this holiday season. So if you are a business, if you sell stuff made from your Cricut, or you just use your Cricut for crafting, this is definitely the event for you. So follow me and stay tuned, and I'll send you more updates as we go. So I don't think there are any more questions. So I think that is a wrap from here from me. And I'll be posting the finished project inside the group. So we still have like 1 or 2 days. You guys can ask questions about the project if you get stuck. So definitely give it a try. You're going to learn a couple of new skills. You're going to pick up a new techniques that you can implement on other projects as well. So go have a try. Definitely don't miss this opportunity. You can get the free version of Affinity and then work around and try out this tutorial. So it's going to get, if you're into SVG designing, it will give you like a sort of look into the SVG designing world and what it's like to work on Affinity Designer. So you can learn some tips from there as well. All right, that is pretty much it.